The current spoiler warning level is Azure.
Friends and folks, for this episode, you're looking at a spoiler warning level of Azure. We're talking about some stuff from the gacha game UC Engage, and I don't think that's spoilery. So please enjoy the episode. Hello friends and folks, and welcome back to another episode of Mechanista NG as we escape, at least for a little while, from the shadow of Gene Roddenberry. I'm Six Detmar.
I'm Dylan.
Who knows when we may be sent back? Anything's possible. Someone's going to ask for the bird of prey at some point in the history of this podcast. I believe that strongly.
Yeah.
But we're back to our main list.
Yeah, I was going to say, not today, though.
And though I brought out the dice box, I immediately remembered I don't need it.
I can't remember. Did we roll something and we were like, oh, we don't have enough time or something?
We did do that.
Right, okay. I can't remember what it was.
I wonder if I can get a picture where the art style won't give it away.
Oh, interesting, okay.
Have we talked about this one? This is on my end. This is more complicated than you probably think. Can I get it to show me the? Tricky. Sorry, folks. You're gonna have to bear with me for a minute here. Dylan is also having to bear with me as I
yeah, no, it's fine.
Try and find. Let's see. Is this? Okay, this is doable. That's a small image, but that's okay. All right. Here we go. It's time for hard mode.
Is this Gune's Yag Doga? No. Right. I don't think that's the right. Now, I looked at it for a moment, though, and you can understand why my brain thought that because of the color, but I think the Yag Doga has more meat on its arm. See, I was thinking it was the arm because of the exposed cables, but now I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait, you usually send me a leg first, though.
There's too much equipment around an arm. It's hard to get just an arm in frame, and then you see something else that gives something away.
Okay. These colors feel like they should give it away, to me, is the thing. But not they didn't quite immediately yet.
It's a tricky thing. I'll say, like, imagine that I said no and then there was an asterisk on
it. No asterisk. Interesting. Okay.
Pouring myself, you can celebrate anytime you want, folks. It's an important lesson, which is why I'm pouring myself a 7-Up Shirley Temple. We've stumped Dylan. That's worth celebrating.
God. Interesting. Okay. Because, yeah, it's not... I'm trying to think of, like, mecha with this color scheme, and I'm like... I mean, I know this is not the Montero. This looks older than the Montero would be. And also, it's just not the right shapes. But, like, when I see, like, blue and, like, that kind of yellow color, I'm like, Huh. I might need a bit more.
Okay. Do you want more of this one or something else?
What does that mean? Okay,
it's an offer.
Give me something else then. Let's see, because that might help more, actually. Just if I need to see what you mean by that. I'm curious now.
Let me see. Gosh.
I feel like having like the piston, the exposed cables, should make this more obvious to me. I'm actually like,
I might have to give you more of this one because the other stuff might make it too easy.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying here. But the other problem is there is stuff mixed in. This is a collection of things. And some of them we've covered, and it's hard for me to try. Like, I can pull it up to be sure, but
okay. Did we roll one of our grab bags?
We did. Okay, here's one that I'm pretty confident we haven't covered. Another from this group.
Okay.
Mine zoomed in a little too much.
These aren't... No, because I think we covered... Are these machines the ones... are these from, Walpurgis?
They're not from Walpurgis, but good guess.
Okay. Because I'm, like, looking at the art, and I'm like, this looks like... This doesn't look like older art, I don't think. It's hard to tell, though. Huh.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think of what grab bags we even have left. I know there's a few, I'm just blanking on it. I feel like I should be getting
There's
these.
the next one I would have to give you a clue that would make it pretty obvious, I think.
I'm trying to... This is the one that's really stumping me right here, because, like... I don't know, it feels like I should know, like, the shape, but...
I am deliberately picking ones that are harder.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's just... Especially with how different these two are, I'm like, I should know what this is. Just because of the nature of it. And also, I put down all the grab bags, usually, so I'm like, I should know. But I don't think I do know. Fuck.
Well,
yeah.
it's just like that sometimes. Time for
right.
it to become obvious.
Yeah, give me the obvious one. I lose this week. Oh, wait. Are these all... Oh! These are all... Wait, no. These wouldn't be designs from, like, Code Fairy or something, would they?
They're not from Code Fairy. Are there any designs from Code Fairy we haven't discussed?
I was gonna say, I don't think so, actually.
Which is a shame. They should make more.
These aren't missing Link designs. I'm trying to tell what's going on with the CG.
Do we still have Dylan? That's great. That'd be great if we still got Dylan. Dylan doesn't have it yet.
I'm like, look, I think I don't have it. I think I'm fucked. I'm really stumped.
All right, well, I guess it's time for more. You know what? I could, at this point, I could just drag this out more and make it, like, more embarrassing for you. But I think I'm going to just make it really embarrassing by just giving you the answer.
Okay. Oh no! You see engage! You know what? It's interesting because, like, you know what happened too? If you picked, like, any other, like, render where I could see the edges a bit more, I would probably be able to tell, because everything in UC Engage in 3D tends to have that more, like, worn down look. Not in a GBO2 way. I feel bad. You know what, though? I also didn't realize we actually had 2D art of some of these, like the Dijeh here, huh? Okay.
I know, I was delighted when I saw it. I was like, hell yeah, Dylan won't get it off of this.
I even rolled this motherfucker a couple weeks ago in GBO2. I still haven't used it, but I have it. I was like...
which one? This
Dijeh,
one?
yeah.
The Dijeh? Oh, I didn't realize they added it. Huh.
Dijeh covered in missiles. basically.
Well, yes, this is a grab bag for UC Engage, where because of the nature of how we do things, a lot of this stuff we've talked about, and it's a little tricky to keep track of.
Yeah. I mean, also, a lot of, given the just how new the game is, also, a lot of this stuff probably didn't exist when we talked about the priors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a real mess. Well, we can just start off with the first one I posted, though, because I know we haven't talked about this thing. I didn't know it existed.
Is it? It's not the Rote Doga. Because the Rote Doga
This is the Giessen Doga.
Right. Giessen Doga.
And the reason I had to give you an asterisk is, of course, this is Gyune Gus's Giessen Doga.
Right. Okay. It's like, which one's the Rote Doga? The Rote Doga is the one weird red one. Not the Psychomu Gyaradoga. It's a different red Gyaradoga that is also using Sazabi-like equipment. Because that's just the classic. Giessen Doga. Oh, I like the yellow one.
Yeah, these are Haida Maria's. Haida Marie, excuse me.
Who's Haida Marie?
Colors. I don't know who that is.
Okay, first introduced in UC Engage. Never mind.
Sure. Oh man, does that mean she's a good character? UC Engage has good characters. What? Okay. They decided to... I think her art looks bad, but it's also partially them trying to look of the era.
Yeah. I noticed that...
That's a little too flat.
She's like, better than Gyune in all ways, but she basically, starts having a mental breakdown on the battlefield because she could feel, the pilot's death too much.
That's a popular way to go for women in Gundam.
Yeah. But it does explicitly say she's better than Gyune. Which is very funny. But yeah, so this is... I guess this is...
Oh, wait! And she's like Nanai is really worried about her. That basically guarantees she's one of Peche's friends.
So this is interesting, because this is... actually a machine that is a successor to the Yagdoga. But I'm curious. So no, this isn't in like the alt history UC stuff though. This is in, because I know they have like like UC Engage has a lot of like weird like, hey, we're gonna just do this. Okay. Oh. This... Okay,
the backstory on this is unhinged.
So the thing that happens with this is it does the same thing as the Psycho Doga in Beltorchica's Children, which is to say, it gets abandoned at the Battle of Fifth Luna, before Fifth Luna gets dropped and destroys Tibet. And but Londo Bell capturing this is what gives them the Psycho frame in the book and in UC Engage's telling of CCA, rather than it just being like fucking FedExed over to them, I guess, which is kind of,
sure.
How it comes across in the movie is just, hey, we got this mysterious technology in the mail.
Whereas this, it's like, Shara's like, hey, leave this behind.
Yeah.
I need Amuro to get a better suit.
Yeah. Abandon, fuck, you're gonna lose this battle. Just abandon your suit. And, he's like, what? Excuse me?
But you gotta make sure you take your beam saber. We can't have them learn about the knife with the beam saber attached to it.
Yeah, so, to describe this machine, and I might just go over some of these machines a little faster, just doing the full breakdown, especially for machines we've already covered, would take forever, but, it's the Yagdoga head with an additional head camera on the top of it, nearer to the front, which is fun. The head camera is where, like, the Yagdoga's horn is on Gyune's normally, but instead of a horn, just got, like, a little mohawk camera that has a small horn on it, which is fun. Though, honestly, given its design, it might just be, like, an antenna or something. Just given the size of it. You have a large horn on the back, actually, which is sort of similar to Quest's Doga having the horn on the back, but it's a much larger version of that, because Quest's is usually smaller. The torso looks functionally the same as the Doga's, just with different color blocking going on here. Like Yune's unit here has a lot more yellow. On his Doga, he actually has a darker, very dark blue on the chest is usually what I think they go with for coloring it. Same color as like the shoulder shield here. Speaking of which, for the shoulders, so the shoulders have an asymmetrical design. The left shoulder has a very flat yellow shield that is a wider, different design than the Doga's, because the Doga has, like these two binders on the shoulders that are just like kind of plates of armor, but they're not like a big shield, and they have the funnels on them, on the rack on them. For this one, there's a like latch at the end of each of these shoulders, and on the left shoulder, it's a kind of wide, chunky yellow shield. It's got these little cuts on the bottom of it, and then it still has the funnel rack on it, so you've got an arrangement of 3 funnels. The right shoulder it looks kind of just like the Doga shield, but cut down, and also with spikes on it. So I guess it kind of reminds me of is it the Doga Kai? Let me see. It has this kind of shield. Just having like the spikier parts on this shield. Because I think I'm like, wait. This is the last time I saw Doga. Yeah, because Doga has like the more blunted spikes, and these are pointy looking. So I see how I got there. But it has 2 spikes on like the top angle, and then 1 spike on the flat side of it. And then it's just popped down in the middle. The shoulders are seemingly pretty close to the Doga shoulders, where you've got these little built-in thrusters that you can see on the front of them. And then on the back, it's just armor. The arms are pretty much the same looking at them. It's hard to tell, right? Because there's an art style difference where these arms look a little skinnier, but I can't tell if that's also just this is a different artist than Izubuchi working on these. But yeah, but the
what
actual
is it actually?
What?
What artist is it actually?
I don't know. I actually don't know who did this art.
I'm gonna, I'll see if I can look into this. Gundam Wiki doesn't have it. We'll check in MAHQ.
Yeah.
Because Chris is far better about this sort of thing.
Yeah, it just doesn't quite look like his.
Oh, Chris doesn't have the Giessen on here.
I mean, to be fair, we might not have anything labeled, right? Like that's one of the problems. It's not like the UC Engage website says who did it.
Actually, let me double check. I just said Chris doesn't have it. Let me just search by MSN03B and see if... Nope, it doesn't. Okay. I was like, maybe this is a case where the Gundam Wiki chose a weird romanization, but
yeah,
I don't think that's it.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with all this shit.
I mean, also, given like the size of the art, again, I am assuming they showed off this art somewhere small, and we don't really have like better quality scans of it anywhere. Not yet, at least. This isn't like some of the suits I think had the art taken from like a Twitter profile or something like of the artist, because you see Engage does have one weird artist on it, like the one who did the Engage Gundam and stuff is not like one of the usual guys. Anyway, yeah, so the arms functionally look very similar to the Doga's. So you've got rounded bicep armor, you've got the circular joint, and then on the forearms you have exposed pistons on the forward point on them with rounded armor on the back. You've got the Izubuchi holes going on in the sides of the like cuff area of the thicker part of the forearm armor. Then 2 hands. Cable running around the top of the waist into the backpack. For the waist itself, one of the major differences is that the skirts have a basically completely different design. The side skirts, instead of having the double large boosters that are on the Doga, you've got these like just armor with an outer like vernier on there that has, funnily, like what looks like a what is that part of a car called? The exhaust. Like it's got
A muffler?
or muffler, with the holes on it. But yeah, then you have a larger rear skirt than the one that is on the Doga. The Doga's rear skirt is kind of... Let me look at a picture of it. Actually, I'm like remembering in my head. Yeah, the Doga just has two plates that are kind of similar to, funnily, like the new Gundam, whereas this has a more like insecty. This actually feels more Xeon to me than the normal Doga, funnily enough. Just having like the armor all connected and no division there. And then there's two large thrusters there. The
What is that?
Oh.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Recent changes. Activity. Scroll down. Okay. Wow.
What?
That's wild. Hang on. Can I see time period 30? I think this might have been created. Oh wait, no, never mind. This is okay, never mind. I'm trying to figure out history. Here we go. This page was created last March.
Okay.
I say this because looking at the UC Engage website page, this unit is not on it.
Oh, they don't even have it on it yet.
And on the Gundam Wiki UC Engage page where they list all the mobile suits, they have it basically broken out the same way the website does, and they have them in the order the website does, and the Giessen's just inserted in the middle here, where it does not actually exist.
I wonder if they did something weird, because if you go to the mobile suit section on the UC Engage website, I know there's a couple of things that are missing.
Absolutely. I'm not trying to accuse them of inventing this. I think this is a case of maybe it was shown at a panel or something and isn't in the game yet.
Yeah, or if it is in the game, they might... I'm wondering if it has the thing where instead of having it on the page for the mobile suits, they have here's original story for CCA, Amuro... oh, wait, yes, hold on. Is it in the Amuro and Char Chronicle page? No, this is the... maybe it is. Let's scroll down.
Well, the section on the mobile suit area for Amuro and Char only has the new and the Sazabi.
Yeah, well, what I meant more is, does it have it on, rather than in the mobile suit section at all, because there's a story section that shows all the original story stuff. And I'm like, oh, did they just only put it there or something? Because there's a UCE crossover and what is this? Anaheim High Life? I've never seen these designs.
I love that beer. Oh, you know what? Here it is. Hang on. Snipping tool.
So, sorry, real quick, just to show this. Anaheim High Life had this on it, which is a very different art style than UC Engage.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
So here is this entry on their timeline, and you can see, there it is. There's the Giessen.
Okay, yeah. Here is the funny thing too. I just realized this is the regular Engage Gundam. I guess they finally decided to put it in a story thing.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's in a very different style. That's so weird. Okay. Anyway, I haven't kept up with UC Engage.
Me either.
It was one of those ones where I'm just you know what? I will look at it once there's more art and stuff around. And I sometimes look at the updates for the suits, but clearly they haven't been putting all the updates in the mobile suit section, which, fair enough, I suppose. Anyway.
What the hell is that? Hang on. So, okay, actually, let me move it a little bit so I get a better screenshot. So there's that screenshot of the on their timeline of clearly, Gyune's Giessen destroyed near 5th Luna. What is this machine that Char's in?
Oh. That's like... Oh, no. Char is wrestling with Amuro's Dijeh. From,
okay, yeah.
That's the Dijeh from Moon Gundam, I believe. That is meant
to be. Okay, okay, yes.
I say that it's the one from Moon Gundam. I think this is like maybe an in-between, or an upgrade version, because this doesn't look quite the same. But I'm wondering if he's definitely using a Dijeh. Yeah, it just calls it the Rick Dijeh. Okay. So yeah, that's the Rick Dijeh from Moon Gundam. Kind of makes sense that they would insert that, given, again, UC Engage is kind of... It is funny to me that they will simultaneously be like, okay, we have to add elements from all the existing stories into the prior story, but then they just invent new things whole cloth, like the because instead of using the Giessen Doga, they could have made it just be the Psycho Doga, because clearly they're doing a level of revisionism of showing things. But instead they just made a whole new thing, which is really funny to me.
I did like, though, those couple of seconds where I was like, it's a DJ with a weird, like, Sasabi backpack.
Okay, yeah, no, it was like, wait, no, that's just being attacked from behind. Okay, anyway. Moving on to the legs. The upper leg armor, nothing new, really. The lower leg armor, you get... So the legs are thinned out compared to the Yagdoga. The knee plate is still the same design as the Yagdoga's, like, area, like the area is kind of like laid out the same, where you've got like rounded knee area, embedded little vernier, but the knee is like larger, and the knee is almost like the knee is like reminiscent of the size of the armor that is on the actual Yagdoga, and then the rest of this armor has been cut down. It's a lot thinner, which is interesting because it doesn't look a ton thinner necessarily at a glance, but just the way that the knee is, you can tell that the leg is meant to be thinner, even though the Yagdoga leg does also thin out here. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... The Yagdoga just doesn't have a hard delineation from the knee and the shape up here to the... Whereas this is like, oh, these are two separate pieces. Just interesting. Just seeing the different way it's drawn. There's now a bunch of exposed cables at the front. You've got two cables, the leg piston is visible. The outside of this, rather than having just large armor with thrusters in it, the armor is cut down a bit and the thrusters are exposed. They're armored a little bit around the sides and around the outside and the front and back of the thruster here. But it's, clearly you can see the thruster, though, as opposed to the Yagdoga, where they're all underneath the big bell bottoms. Then, for the feet are pretty similar in shape, though instead of having what, to me, always looked like cameras or something on the feet of the Yagdoga, this actually just has a vernier right there on the toe piece. Mm-hmm. On the normal Yagdoga, you can see why I say camera, though, because instead of it being, it's like green in there.
Yeah.
In the cutouts. Yeah. Finally, the backpack design. The backpack is completely new, I would say. It is, like, there's a propellant tank on the top. You've got two little verniers on the top as well. You have this little blue cap on the bottom part of the backpack here at an angle. You have two thrusters on the sides that are kind of a weird design because they're almost like these like big blocks just jammed into the sides of the backpack. And then you've got a singular propellant tank plugged into the back middle here.
I like the backpack design a lot.
Mm-hmm. This is, interesting design. Even though it is technically an advancement on the Gira Doga, it's interesting because it feels like it actually cuts down some parts of it too. But I could also see it being, well, we're meant to lose this unit, so it's fine. Unless Char just thought of that in the moment, which is also possible. He just went, I know how to give Amuro a technology advantage that he does not have. Gune, get the hell out of there. You lost your leg. I'll rescue you. Gune's like, I can still fight him, Captain. No, get the hell out.
It seems like that seems likely to me because, like, we have that shot of him fighting with Amuro and, like, having Amuro's, DJ in, like, a headlock. And it's like, I imagine how that goes is like, oh, Amuro, this thing's a piece of shit. Hang on, I gotta do something.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, to be unfair to the Rick Dijeh, but it's, it's true that it's no Sazabi.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the Giessen Doga's role in that, though, is just, hey, here's an explanation for why they got the Psycho Frame rather than it just rather than them getting an anonymous package in the mail with secret technology, and then they just opened it and were like, huh, that's weird.
Great.
Again, they don't really get into it in the anime, so there's enough looseness there, but because they don't explicitly know that Char sent them it, right? They just know, hey,
No.
I was like, it's been quite a few years now since I last watched CCA, but I'm pretty sure they're just like, yeah, we got the data for this somehow, and they don't really tell Amuro either. They're just like, yeah, we're building you a new machine.
I mean, I know it's anime, and so this logic doesn't always apply, but it's like, also, why would they tell Amuro? Be like, yeah, no, we didn't come up with this. And it's just be like, yeah, no, we're smart. we built a good machine.
Okay,
you should pay us.
Okay, but look, his girlfriend is working on it. Then again, he also doesn't talk to his girlfriend, so kind of famously,
true,
doesn't actually speak to her. All right. So, moving on to... Oh god, I hate the way this is laid out on the wiki. I wish they just had a section labeled UC Engage Original Units or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's all by story, so, you've got... I mean, it has original story, which has, all the ones that... I think a lot of the ones that we've covered. Mainly because I think, the Peche stuff, I think we rolled things generally when they had already come out. There's a couple we missed, though. Did we ever talk about the high mobility camphor, for instance?
I think we did. I mean, we'll go back through we're going to do the 3 that we've already shown first.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it out from there. But, we also, remember, we did some cleanup episodes where we doubled back and checked out some.
Yeah, this is the Dijeh Assault Package, if I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't know the model number, but Dijeh Assault Package. This is a cool machine. I quite like it.
Yeah.
And we do have the mechanical designer. This one is a Daiki Ueda, who I don't know. Not an artist I've really heard of. I don't know for sure if this is the guy who also did the Engage Gundam. Let me take a look. Because I can't remember who did the Engage Gundam and the Engage Zero. Who did these? That's the one
I was looking at Ueda's credits earlier, and he has credits on Narrative and Hathaway. And
interesting.
The 2019 City Hunter, but who fucking cares?
Do we know what he designed in Hathaway?
I'm just seeing IMDb credits. Not much else.
I will say the Engage Zero is Tsukasa Kotobuki is the designer. Yet another one where I'm like, that is not a name I know for Gundam. You got a lot of new guys working on UC Engage stuff, interestingly. Anyway, the Dijeh Assault Package here is exactly what it says on the tin. This is a Dijeh that has been modified with a lot of armor on it. So, the head is the exact same as the regular Dijeh head. Nothing changed there. The torso, our initial change is, rather than having the chest vent areas, we have 2 large armor plates put on the front that have large white doors on them. These white doors pop open and reveal many missiles. This will be a running theme.
Yeah, I guess they're supposed to be... Yeah, I guess they're supposed to be white. Yeah. It feels like they're also doing a thing with the sort of CCA style, stark space lighting, which is sort of throwing me off a bit,
Yeah, I mean, it's gray, I guess, would be the other color to call it, but either way, it is not... They are uncolored, saturation 0, or, yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Anyway.
They look different in the GBO 2 art, but that's,
it's because there's a shine right there, so you see that and you don't see the doors. I can say from playing the game though, they are also
Okay.
I see why the GBO2 render in particular looks weird here, because for some reason they decided for this render the lighting would be like they have like a sun in front of the Dijeh on the front right. So
yeah.
It's a really weird place to have the light source on that, actually. I mean, I guess you wouldn't really have it behind. It just, the shine here is weird looking on it. IMO. The shoulder units are completely new. The base of the shoulder, it's a little hard to see it, but it looks like it just kind of has a front and back vent or vernier of some sort. You have these large square openings on both sides. The outside of the shoulder then has it's a missile pod on the front and then just a large shield on the side. So the missile pod section is vertical square, or vertical rectangle, I guess I should say. 2 doors on it. The upper door is a little smaller than the lower door. Both these doors can pop open and there are more missiles. And then on the outside of this, the shield is like, basically, like, you have, like, a large, for lack of a better word, like, blister design on the outside here. And then the bottom of it is rounded. You do have a little cut in the bottom of the shield. The rest of the arms, though, functionally, yes, just the Dijeh arms. Then for the legs, the skirts are the same. The legs are the next major change. The knees have large armor plates put onto them, as well as some extra armor on the sides of the like little joint area here. It looks like also on the outside you have a different kind of cover there that... Oh no, that is the same as the regular Dijeh. It's just... It looked a little different because of the nature of having, these extra knee parts. But no, this part's actually just the stock Dijeh little thruster that is on the outside of the leg there. But yeah, so the knee armor, designed very similarly to the chest. You have a dark blue block with 2 white doors on it, and these doors pop open, and they have more missiles, because that's what this machine is. There's lots of missiles.
Mm-hmm.
Then, moving on, the backpack, there's no real change to the backpack. What has been done, though, is we have the 2 sets of clay bazookas that are mounted on the sides of the backpack there, which I think normally the normal Dijeh, we never really see the weapons racked on it. I'm curious if on the RE-100, I'm just gonna look, or on the high grade, if they can put the clay bazooka on the back like that, because I don't remember it doing that in the anime. And plus, it's always funny because the regular Dijeh just has an explicit weapon rack on the shoulder, rather than having, rather than just putting them on the backpack. But obviously, that's not really an option here, given the design.
By the way,
yeah.
A website that I keep bookmarked, a page I keep bookmarked is the DeviantArt page for Scorpion XX0, who is just a person who data mines out the stripped down versions of the promo art for suits in GBO2. So here's the Dijeh Assault Package one.
Okay,
that's cool.
Nice. I have all of those saved, because every time they do an update in GBO2, I go on the website and save every week. I'll save the render, and I'll save... See, that's the other thing, is UC Engage does not update regularly. It's easy to keep up with GBO2, because they've never stopped updating every single week. Which is kind of, ridiculous, given how long the game's been going for. But they've never missed... I don't think they've ever missed a week of adding a new suit every week, which... The more I think about it, is actually kind of crazy. It's also why the game has so many suits now. It's like, 300 plus, maybe 400? I don't know.
And then still, I mean, there are times where they add stuff and you're like I've never heard of this thing, or wow, what a pull. And then there are times where the most recent one they added was the Hardy gun, and you're like, how was this not in the game already?
Yeah. Then it's F91 stuff, there's not actually as much F91 era stuff.
True. I guess it's more probably smartly, but when they start doing, like, it's like, okay, we're doing F91 now, they don't just then do like all the F91s. They're like, we're also gonna drop in, here is this, like, here is the Jim parentheses, like, Luo and Co version, right?
Yeah,
They
like,
keep adding in other stuff to fill it out.
I decided to look. I'm like looking real quick. What was the order? When did they? Okay, right. The week before the F91, they actually did just the regular F90, and then the F91, broke into the 750 cost. Then they added the Denanzon, F90S type, RF DOM. So thus far, it's all like stuff from that era. But then eventually, one of the weeks was the Gelgoog L, and then the Red Gundam from G-Quux. And then the prototypes, Psycho Gundam from MMSV, Rosette from AOZ. So yeah, I guess you're right. They do just kind of intersperse weird stuff in the middle. I mean, they can't consistently only add to the higher cost class. They do still add random lower stuff. They added the prototype Camphor a couple weeks ago. Was one of the ones where I was like, shit, I hope I get this. Then I didn't, because I do log in every week. Also because I don't want my clan kicking me out, because they are fairly active, and I like getting the bonuses.
I think it's great. I am a little surprised. Like, to me, I would have assumed the way you would do this is you add a new once you add a new, like, entry in the series, it's like we get all the no-brainer ones out of the way,
you
all
just
the
do
obvious
all
ones,
the animated
then...
F91 ones first, and then you would do maybe, like, F90 stuff.
But... No.
Well, even, like, another weird one, they have the Neo Gundam, but they don't have the RX-F91. Even though, like, I think for the Silhouette formula in UC0123 or whatever the fuck, usually the RX-F91 is, like, considered the main unit. So it's just kind of weird putting the Neo Gundam in there first. Because that's the one that... well, they're both, if I remember right, rip-offs, but the Neo Gundam is the one that has, like, the weird GBRD, which is the fake Vesper on it. Because the Anaheim's like, please, SNRI, don't take our monopoly away. Anyway, way back to the Dijeh we were talking about. Funnily, the Re-100 actually does a weird thing here, where the weapon rack is on the inside of the binder rather than the outside.
Oh, interesting.
So that's how the Clay Bazooka racks in on this version.
Unless Dalong just built it wrong. I'm kidding. That's not... Dalong's not an idiot.
No, we don't always... I don't always approve of his lining methods, but he knows what he's doing for building and putting together stuff and whatnot. Like I said, the funny thing with the Dijeh for me, though, is one of the more recent, is it a cost signature? Yeah, the cost signature decided to make it so it can actually use its shoulder rack to, like, equip everything, and it looks ridiculous. Let me pull that up. Sorry. Technically, it's
I'm
not...
having trouble picturing what you're describing.
Yeah, damn it. Ami only has it on the... Well, on the cover, it's like this. Clay Bazooka on either side, and then the Hyper Mega Launcher in the middle.
Sure. Okay.
And there's adjustability to it, too. Because, for instance, rather than having the Clay Bazookas on the outside, an alternative is it is just wide enough that you can actually put two Clay Bazookas in between the rack together like that. And then, it's got a little extra subarm that is holding onto the high mega launcher there. Weird machine. Anyway, moving on. The Dijeh here, though, two Clay Bazookas, and yeah. So this is a Dijeh with extra armor and lots of missiles. It is... for UC Engage, let's see what the backstory is. Oh, this is interesting, because this actually has another unit involved with it, which is unseen and not used in the game, which is the Dijeh S-Type. And this is the S-Type with the Assault Package. I'm wondering if the S-Type... I'm curious what is different there. It just says that... Okay, the main body was redesigned into a reinforced type called the S-Type. The shoulders and legs were remodeled. And then the SA is the assault package, which is a bombing support unit with a bunch of missile pods. So I guess the normal S-type has all this increased armor, but doesn't have any missiles or anything loaded in. It's just solid armor. And then this one's like, we're going to add missile pods. Each missile pod is also designed so that it can be purged. So that's why it's like a separate mechanism from like the shoulder shields and whatnot, is theoretically after it fires the missile, it can just drop the thinner part on the front here off.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That way they won't be dead weight after being launched, which makes sense. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a common thing.
Give it, but
what?
I said I didn't give it, but here's the UC or UC Engage render, which looks better than some of them to me.
Yeah, no, this one's actually fine. Still, the UC Engage render, I don't like the texture that they use on all of these. If I'm being honest, again, it's funny because GBO2 is also going for like gritty in a way, but they just look a lot. Everything looks dirty in UC Engage. Like everything has. And it's dirty in the same way throughout the entire body, and I think that's the problem. You know, the way that, like, mud or whatnot would adhere to different parts of a mobile suit. You know, a lot of games will put, like, you make the feet more worn down or something, but it wouldn't be so consistent that you just have the same layer caked over this. Like, all of the UC Engage things look like they were caught in a sandstorm while wet or something.
You know what they look like to me is they look like they're made of pewter.
I could see that too, yeah. Yeah, it's just the way that they try to apply weathering is too evenly. It's too clean of a way to apply the dirtiness in a way. So yeah, it is so consistent that, like you said, it almost is like a painted pewter statue or something, rather than looking like it's dirty in the way that I think they intend for it to have.
Well, let's look at another cool guy, shall we?
Yeah. Let's move on.
Let's look at the Gabthley Beta.
Gabthley Beta. Funny that they go with the beta here, just because that's not something I associate. I mean, it's the Garibaldi that I associate using alpha and beta with, but nope. Gabthley Beta. This is.
I guess their logic is it's a naming scheme that the Titans used.
Ironic, given that the Garibaldi Alpha is not even a Titan suit. It's a Xeon suit. Huh. It's a Xeon suit that they found at the end, and then we're like the Federation. And actually, now that I think about it, the Federation uses it because that's the thing with Layla, right? Is she's not a Titan.
True.
Yeah, she's Federation, and because if I remember right, one of the conflicts with her and Jared is Jared being like, "I'm a Titan," and then she kicks him in the face and is like, "I don't give a shit."
That's true.
And then he's like, "Fuck, I'm in love with this woman because she kicked me in the face."
And then the other example I can think of is like the Beta Aziru. So like,
yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. All right, well, whatever. Here we are.
So this is a really cool unit. The Gabthley Beta is a weird one because I believe, it has an MA mode. Unfortunately, unless we had like footage of the game, I don't think we're going to be able to see that. The head is the regular Gabthley head for the most part. The main difference being just the color blocking on it. Like the antenna going out to the sides are now given like a yellow, so it almost has like a mustache V-fin vibe going on with it, just with having them in yellow instead. The torso, we've got additional armor, and the armor is like almost strapped to it, is the way it looks. Because you've got, these additional blocks of armor over the middle, and then on the underside of these little angled parts is essentially a strap running towards the back, which is fun. For the arms, the shoulders have been redesigned significantly. They've dropped the beam cannons that they normally have, and what they have instead are... These are so weird to describe. So, very large rounded shoulders that have a shield unit basically attached to the outside, the shield units here are very complex in shape. You've got like an outer main shield, and then it's got these little parts connecting to a shield that is on the front and back of the shoulder armor. And you can see these are bolted in on both parts, so that it's like very secure in there. Even though it looks like they are floating, they're not actually free floating. There's, parts attaching them to either side. And then the other difference is as you hit the lower arm, where the forearm cuff is, there's like an external claw on it. And these claws are wild because these remind me of like the Epion or something, They're not... They don't look like a UC claw to me. These parts are also strange in that they have like a little arm that is connecting onto the underside of that outer shield. Oh, and I forgot to mention, that outer shield then has another shield at the bottom of it that is like movable here. And you can see in the posed art on the left, the way that the arm is moved, that, these parts are like movable, so it doesn't restrict its movement. It looks weird though.
It's funny because so many mobile suits feel like they're designed for like a very practical shooting. Like, I haven't ever tried this pose, whatever. I can't speak to its practicalness, but what seems like a very practical pose that they actually never do, which is like standing with your body like angled so that the gun is back and the shield is forward, so you've got like one shoulder forward to block, but no one ever does this.
No, generally not. This can do it because, again, the shields on the arms, even though it looks like it would actually restrict its movement, are quite articulated, and they do have like lots of these little struts with like rotation on them. So these are able to the arms are still able to move decently freely. Apparently, I would want to see more poses of it, but yeah, the leg unit, or the waist unit, I should say, you can still see the normal Gabthley waist under there with its like weird little beam emitters that are on the skirt, but then huge armor just kind of slapped around the outside here. Are these missile pods? I'm curious. Yes, these are missile pods here, so that's the door on the front right there. So large hexagonal
makes
missile
sense
pod, that is just kind of on the sides, added to the side skirt along with some additional armor. The rest of the legs, I'm looking, are these... Yeah, they are new designs for the legs. That's weird. Mainly, the main weird thing is on the lower leg, this whole section being, like, open. And you can actually see that GBO2 decided to add more detail in there, which is funny, because here it's just, like, two indistinguishable, like, gray little blocks, and they decided to make it, like, venting in there instead. For the GBO2 model, which obviously a PS4 game is much higher fidelity than what the smartphone game is going for. And yeah, the feet and whatnot are kind of thin, though that is true of the regular Gabthley looking at it. It's hard to tell, again, how much of this is art style versus actual design difference. Actually, no, this is designed differently, though, because if you look here on the foot, this, like, ankle section has, like, this weird flat armor, which is not what the Gabthley does.
Alright, quick technical difficulties, but picking up where we left off, that's the Gabthley beta.
Yeah. My little thing I was going to say here at the end is looking at the design, and this gets even more emphasized in the GBO2 copy, I feel like this is inspired by Advance of Zeta. was what I was
It makes
gonna
sense.
say. Well, especially like stuff like the leg armor and like the flat paneling and whatnot. It doesn't look, funnily, it doesn't look as much with the UC Engage design, but just like with the way the GBO2 stuff is kind of emphasizing shapes, it feels like it's doing that to me. Anyway.
Well, why don't we see how much the MA design moves your opinion on that?
Let's see.
Front.
Okay, so it does still
Back.
have... That's so weird. So the legs are still hollow in the back, so that it can do the leg claws. That's so weird, though. Just
It
seeing
looks
how
like a
different it
mean
is.
bug in a way I really like. Like he's
Yeah.
got like the mandibles and the.
The backpack, because you can't see the backpack from either of these arts, but the backpack is the head cover that you have normally, but instead of having just like the normal Gabthley head cover with the 3 eyes, this one, the middle eye is a little smaller, and then it adds another one on top, and then that covered with the, these little, the mustache antenna being in yellow. It just, it's even more buggy feeling in a way I really like.
Since you
It's
mentioned
funny
it,
to me because it is the same transformation. And there we go, yeah. And you can actually see that there's also additional thruster. You can't really see it on the in-game stuff here, but yeah, there's an additional little thruster unit added to the rear skirt as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's also interesting, though. The armor looks very closed here. So now I'm curious, how does this armor split open to allow the legs to still have the claws? Because on the normal Gabthley, the legs have...
I mean, you can see the seam.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, looking at the normal Gabthley...
And the light is even split in two, so that you can split it along in the middle of the light.
Yeah, I actually forgot, looking at the original Gabthley, it also has... The armor isn't as open plan as I was thinking with the legs. Even on the original, it's actually pretty similar. I had to refresh myself because I haven't seen it in a while, but yeah. The dual 180 and so on and so on.
Overly complicated mechanism, frankly.
I like it, though, because it gets little,
it's
grabby
fun.
arms. It gets a little grabby claws. Yeah. Anyway, I think this is a pretty cool machine. To talk about its equipment, it has the 4 beam sabers in the arms. Obviously, these claws are able to be used for melee combat. I mentioned the missile pod. This uses a Fedayeen rifle Mark II, as it's called, which is interesting because this doesn't look like the Fedayeen rifle at all to me. You can see it firing the missiles in the GBO2 promo art. This doesn't look like the Fedayeen rifle at all, especially because it sacrificed its ability to emit its beam saber, so it's just got it. Mm-hmm. It just is a rifle now. It's just an even longer rifle that doesn't have the things that make the normal Fedayeen rifle unique to me, which is funny. Mm-hmm. It's just a really long rifle, and then the multi shields are, it's got. So, this is worded in a very strange way that I don't think is true to how this transforms. It says that the multi-shield on the articulated hinge on the left shoulder is the nose of the Gabthley Beta in mobile armor mode. I don't think that's true from what we saw in the mobile armor mode, that there's a nose there. Oh, this extra shield... Wait, hold on. Pull up the mobile armor again.
That's still not true.
Yeah, no. I was going to say, I don't think it had that shield on the front of it, though.
No, it goes up on top.
Yeah, and it goes towards the back. That's not a nose to me. I wouldn't describe that as the nose. That's weird. Whatever.
No, whatever.
Anyway. Yeah, so that's the Gabthley Beta. Again, some of these units are just going to be inherently weird, and especially if they don't have a GBO2 version, because it's both annoying and kind of hard to just go around grabbing, find me a video of someone using this unit in UC Engage. A game that is mostly an auto-battler, that is... It only really zooms in on the unit when they're using their special move, so if a function isn't in their special move, then, shrugs.
Well, next we have the Musika, which does have a GBO2 version, so we're lucky again on that front.
Yeah! Oh, this guy rules. This is the very up-armored Barzam, which I quite like. I didn't know we had 2D art of it. That makes me happy. And yeah, so the Musika is... I mean, it's exactly what I said. This is a Barzam with additional armor and equipment. The additional parts... So, the head, torso, and legs are the same as the Barzam. The arms are very different. We've got these huge rounded shoulder armor pieces, very reminiscent of the Ashamar. Then we've got like the way the armor is too, there's a little indentation in the middle that is in like a darker gray, and then the outside. This is a unit that is like a grayscale Barzam, I should say, also, rather than the Titan's blue kind of thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that it's got these like little armor flaps on the front that are like clearly movable for the arms because they're on like these little hinges. The bicep is the Barzam's bicep design. The forearms, to continue the rounded armor theme, and again very Ashamar inspired design, very large rounded armor. For the left arm, it's interesting because you can see that the way the armor can, like, the way that this can rotate on the wrist, it allows it to slot in its gun that is kind of just built into the side of the arm here. But the shields are the same design on either side for these, like, forearm guards. So it's very rounded. It's just on the right arm, it's rotated a bit more outward so that this large gun just slots in. And the large gun, also basically the Ashamar's gun, but with some additional armor on the top and bottom of it. But it's the very vertical square barrel going on and such. Finally, the backpack of this unit has a lot of backpack. Just a big shell unit basically added onto the back of this that is full of downward-facing thrusters and, like, essentially allows this to be sort of a... It's not really a flying unit. It is a... How to really put it? It's weird. It is a beefy, slightly aerial maneuverable, I guess is what I would call it, Barzam.
Okay.
Because it doesn't transform, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't in the game, in GBO2, because I do have this. So it's just kind of like a weird armored... It's funny, because it's compared to the Ashamar, but when I think of something just having a bunch of downward-facing thrusters like this, my brain goes, Beerland. achieving, like, flight stability in flight through pure thrust downward. But the shapes are very Ashamar-inspired going on, so... apparently,
its backpack is a fucking piece of work.
This backpack and shoulder unit and stuff are all ejectable also. Technically, this is considered the Musika. Oh, that's interesting. These parts...
So much shit on there.
So this is a detail I didn't know, and I'm very curious about what this looks like when it's separate. These parts are apparently a sub-flight unit that can separate.
Oh,
so I'm thinking that these shoulders and backpack parts like kind of pop up. It's doing a Justice Gundam, I guess, with it.
It's interesting. It doesn't have a way of doing that in GBO2.
GBO2, no. It mentions it mentions that the sub-flight unit on the backpack is manned. So theoretically, you have another pilot inside of here. So I guess this is also kind of doing a Super Gundam thing, which makes sense. Yeah, I wish we had art of that, though, because, you know, I want to see that in action.
Yeah, funnily, it's a shame that in GBO2, it just, you know, walks and shoots. It's a really, mechanically pretty unremarkable suit.
Yeah.
As far as game mechanics, mechanically, I mean.
Yeah, for sure. Its equipment is nothing really to write home about. It's got a beam saber, it's got a Vulcan pod, and then it's got the big ass beam rifle that's very obvious in the art. Funnily, the original design for this was Kyoryu Kuramochi, who looks like his, or at least at some point he drew an SD version. You know, this is from his Twitter. He drew a little SD version of it, which is very fun. I like this. I like this design a lot, just in terms of its raw design. But yeah, it's a weird unit because my experience of using it in GBO2 is this is a Barzam doing the Barzam thing, but is beefier. And yeah, it's, you know, it's fine. The backstory for it is it was meant to be a it was meant to have, like, hey, the Barzam has the drum frame structure from, you know, the Ashamar and whatnot for the transformation. What if we added a drum frame to the Barzam in a way by doing this backpack on there? Which is really funny because then I just think about how the Barzam in Advance of Zeta just has the drum frame in it that, you know, in the torso that just with how it gets drawn and designed in AOZ stuff. You can clearly see, if I pull that up in AOZ Reboot, the midsection here behind the back, you can see the little drum frame part in the back middle of the torso there, and then it's just got a bunch of pistons and stuff in the armor. Just interesting that there's another crack at doing that kind of idea, just in a different way. Just in a way of, what if we put a giant subflight unit on the back of this that could, again, from what I read, it sounds like it should just work like the Justice Gundam, like this can eject off and it can, like, ride on it. Because if a subflight system, SFS is used for Dodais, and if a mobile suit rides on it. Anyway, yeah, so that's the Musika. Or Musika? Whatever.
Do you want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more. Whenever my brain reads it, because my brain saw the katakana first, I always say Musika, even though in English it looks like they generally go with Musika.
That's because it's a reference.
Oh, what is it?
I'm not qualified to, but like it is a thing from is it
the Mount of the Hindu deity Ganesha.
It's like Hindu. I was like, shit. I was like, I know. I'm gonna fuck this up if I just say off the top of my head. I have to look this up. But yes.
Well, yeah. And then obviously in Japanese, you can't make a C noise. It's she is what you would use in katakana. Right. So yeah, Mushika.
What about, you know, the sort of unofficial prototype Gustav Karl, the Jegan Type F?
Oh, this guy rules. Okay, good one to end it out on.
Also, can I say its nickname, the Duffel Jegan, is a great name.
Duffel Jegan? What does that mean?
The Duffel Jegan. Does it have a duffel bag? I don't know what we're talking about, but it's a great name.
Amazing.
It's really evocative.
Oh. Or no, wait,
yeah,
Type H. Type H.
Yes, Type H.
Okay, I was...
yeah, apparently it is a deliberate, it is because its larger backpack is supposed to resemble a duffel bag.
That's really funny. So this design, it's a Jegan. This is essentially a weird... This is like the most original design out of all of these thus far. In terms of just having a lot of new stuff going on with it compared to the Jegan. For instance...
Yeah, let's... Yeah. Just to have it side by side, here is a Jegan.
Yes. So
not the same machine.
The head has a lot of additional armor going on. The brow has been so extended that it looks like it's just got like this mean, very thin visor going on. It also has like extra, it looks like it's a red armor underneath, like in the eye area. Kind of reminding me, I'm trying to remember what unit does that. Because that's familiar to me for some reason on like a Jegan type having like red armor underneath the visor, but I'm not remembering which one. Anyway, the forehead though much boxier, even though it still has a Mohawk camera. The setup is the same. It's just the shapes are very different. The Vulcan pod looks like it's completely built into the head now, rather than, a separate Vulcan pod as seen there. So you've got, a little antenna on the back of it, but it's attached into this cheek armor that is also thicker than the normal Jegan. Oh, right. Of course, you mentioned it even. It is doing a Gustav Karl, having the separate color for, under the eye and stuff. Though, funnily, because this is so boxy, this just looks like thick armor, as opposed to the Gustav Karl kind of having this is a Jegan that's been stung by a bee appearance. with it being rounded. The torso, I mean, it's got the collar from the Jegan, but the rest of this is essentially new. You've got...
so that's a new shape there, but it's got the single vents and the protruding forward cockpit in this sort of angled style that's Gustav Karl.
Yeah, it's very Gustav Karl. It's just different color blocking and shape to, the armor here. But overall, yeah, it's a square vent with the little GPO2 style, closed vent with a slit in the middle that can, open up. You've got a red cockpit hatch in the middle here. The rest of the body very square. I guess those two parts are Jegan. The two lower torso sections. The shoulders are thicker armor all around. You've got a big square of armor around the top. You've got just these really...
But you can see there's a Jegan shoulder underneath there.
Yeah, but it is just a bunch of additional armor around the outside. The biceps are the same, as are the joints. The forearms have beam sabers built into them, and I love this about this machine. This is my favorite part. I mean, it's also very striking because the UC Engage art makes it very obvious. You have the beam sabers are just built into the wrist here. You've got this little gray mounting mechanism, darker gray I should say, around the outside of the arm, and I love the way it just kind of goes around the top of the wrist, and then you've just got these beam saber emitters. Now, I would have put them on the bottom rather than the top personally, mainly because if it's on the bottom, I guess even with the Jegan beam rifle, there's actually so much hanging down, and it doesn't use the Jegan beam rifle, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but my brain feels like you would... Well, this definitely uses a beam rifle, though, because these are... E-packs on the side skirt.
Oh yeah, it has listed as a weapon and a beam rifle.
We just don't know what it looks like, because it's not the Jegan beam rifle, because the Jegan beam rifle uses the long stick E-packs. This has these weird little... Again, these look like Hazel beam rifle E-packs or something.
Sure.
Or I guess the Mark II rifle would be because that's what the Hazel's drawing off of. Anyway, yeah, to mention it, the skirt, though, very blocky. I mean, it actually has a skirt. The crotch, I guess, is the same, but it has skirts, unlike the Jegan, which have just these little pads of armor. The skirts have a thruster in the top, or a vent. The interesting thing is, these aren't really like the Gustav Karls, but it evokes it just in its shapes and having, the same vent style as the chest. Then, yeah, you have these large side skirt parts that are carrying a bunch of additional little E-packs. We can't see the rear skirt really at all. The thigh, I guess, is the same. For the legs, though, you've got... Are these missile pods added to the joint?
Yes.
Yeah, weird. They're attached to the joint. The joint has... it's a cylindrical joint that is inserted in there, and on the outside, it just has a cylinder kind of popped out of it with these little 3-door missile pods attached, which is interesting. Just not the way you would expect it to be attached. And then the rest of the leg is Jegan. It didn't look at first. Now that I look at it, though, that is just Jegan leg. It's got a outer thruster on the outside, etc. And then the backpack, the top of it is the Jegan backpack with these 2 thrusters. The rest of it, it looks like it's very bulky. And as you mentioned, it looks like it's carrying a duffel bag, is why it's called the Duffel Jegan. I don't have any way of viewing this. I'm looking on, Japanese Google search to see if anyone has taken a picture of this from any angle that would help. Because I found pictures of it in-game, but the problem is they're also from the front in a way where I can't see anything on the back.
Yeah.
Which is very unfortunate. Yeah, no, I'm not, at least not quickly finding any. Again, the one screenshot I found, let me load this actually. Maybe this person posted multiple screen caps of it? He did, but they're all from the front! Damn it! That's so funny. But we can see the beam rifle in his screenshots, so.
Okay.
It does have something. This is from Twitter user.
Whoa!
At lowercase YRBA1TFXVUT5BF8. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
This is such a weird... Okay, so you were kind of onto something with the Hazel, because it looks like it does double stack its
yeah, but the
packs.
otherwise, this beam rifle is just unique. It's this very square... This is a very strange beam rifle.
You say square, it's like they're doing like XM8 shit up in... Why the fuck did it do that? They're doing like XM8 up in here with this like barrel profile.
You know what? Yeah, you're right, because that is... It is rounded, and actually seeing from this other screenshot from an angle, yeah, it's very XM8 actually. Holy shit. That's funny. It just doesn't have the like handle in there. It's solid up there, but it's still the shape of the XM8.
I loved this gun in Perfect Dark.
Oh, of course Perfect Dark would have it. It looks like a future gun. So
right?
Yeah, no, this
it looks like a future gun with not a lot of polygons. It's perfect.
Yeah. Finally, the last picture this person had that was unique was this picture. And we can see a little more of the backpack, I guess. Oh! This has... I bet I know what this has. Looking at the design of this. 1 second. I think this has the Hyakushiki Kai backpack thing going on. Where it's the
with
barrels
the cylinder.
Like yeah, the cylindrical barrels with the thrusters on them. And because you can see it's like a cylinder.
Which does look like... So one, that does look like a duffel bag, and two, there is another UC Engage exclusive design that adds that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, there is. I can't remember what one does that, but I do remember there's another one that has it. Yeah, like, it's like this design, but it's at the bottom rather than the top.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't have, like, the long binders on it. Just interesting, though. Funny that they call it the duffel. I like that. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out which design it is that has that. Oh, it's the Superb Jegan. It's the Superb Jegan.
Which one's the Superb Jegan? Should we just do that too, real quick?
I posted it.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we've done it.
Okay, we probably did.
Let me check.
The Superb Jegan is a bit more directly taking because it has the lower binders,
we haven't. We've done the... Sorry, I typed Superb and I got a result. And I was like, yes, that means... No, it's the Superbia Jinx we've covered. We haven't done the Superb Jegan.
Okay. So yeah, fuck it, let's just do it. It's another Jegan here.
Sure.
And honestly, it's really easy to cover because... Especially if we leave it for comparison. This one's even more of a standard Jegan for a lot of it. The main differences are the head coloration, but it's actually... It's not like there's added armor, it's just they colored the mohawk a different color. So yeah, this is a Jegan that has... The backpack is based on the Hyakushiki Kai backpack. You've got the 2 barrel thrusters. You have the 2 binders going down. The one additional thing is it has these 2 very large upper ones, very reminiscent of the Jegan's own backpack. And then it's using a sort of a modified version of the Zeta Gundam High Mega Launcher, looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Has this weird handle on the top of it that is different. I'm wondering if this is like another... I wonder if it's just like an extra grip. Instead of just having this side grip, it also has like a top grip. But, yeah. The Zeta High Mega Launcher there. This is...
Okay, so we get a couple of things with this. One,
neat. Yeah.
GBO2, where it looks great.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I should mention, it does have extra armor on the torso. You can see that on the GBO 2 version of it. So it does have some extra armor layered over the torso zone. That's fun. It's evident because normally the Jegan's like red stomach thing sticks out, but you can see here it's flush with the armor that is added. And plus when you see the layer there, you can see the layer of blue armor. So it does have additional armor on the torso.
good looking design. And then we do have some animated UC Engage like animated footage of it.
Oh, it actually got animated in UC Engage. Okay.
Yeah. So we got two frames.
There it is.
How it started.
Landed.
How it's going.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm guessing. Looks like the extra torso armor did not help.
Not enough.
With a direct hit there. So yeah. That's funny. But yeah, it looks to be basically the Superb Jegan is okay. Yeah, it's an anti-ship counterattack unit. They land this somewhere and it snipes a ship down. Is kind of the idea. Which, you know.
I mean, hey, listen. If it got a ship with that shot before getting shot back, that's worth.
Yeah. I mean,
the pilot may not agree, but
yeah. It was destroyed by the. Oh God. Okay. You know what? Sorry. Just to bring it up because it's one more Doga and
sure.
it's very simple. Sure. It gets destroyed by the Angriff Doga, which is a Gira Doga that is pointier. Here we are. The Angriff Doga. So the Angriff Doga has the shoulders are they're like the spiked Gyaradoga left shoulder, but it has it on both arms instead of having the shield on one arm. The shield has been moved to the left arm's fist, so it's like doing the Zaku 1 punch shield thing. The backpack is interesting because this is another example of it's doing a very similar thing to the Yagdoga variant we talked about earlier. You know, the thruster on the top. Or, sorry, not thruster, propellant. Yeah. But then it's got a bunch of external thrusters everywhere in every which direction. And then it's got these two huge, very thick propellant tanks on the bottom of it. It seems like it uses... It has the regular Gyaradoga beam machine gun. This is some kind of bazooka here. It looks like...
It has the Dryson's giant bazooka.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to look at it and I'm like, it looks familiar, but I couldn't quite recognize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's not really... Oh, it apparently does have tri-blades from the...
Okay.
Sure. From the Dryson as well, though I don't know where they're... It says, on a rack on the left side of the backpack when not in use. So clearly they were already used here. You can see one of the tri-blade parts there. You can see one of the little wings. So, yeah.
The tri-blades are one of my least favorite weapons in all of Gundam.
You don't like that it just has like a deployable spinning death blade?
I think they're dumb.
There's a lot of dumb things in Gundam.
I think they're dumb in a way I don't enjoy.
Okay, well, that's fair. I can't really argue with that. Yeah, so this is a high-speed assault and capture Gyaradoga is what its role is meant to be. So additional thrusters, extra propellant tank so it can operate at a longer range as well. And then it's just got some extra equipment.
Huh?
Oh, apparently the tri-blades can actually be more used as a flare to neutralize missiles from bases. Like,
oh, that's an interesting idea.
Like the idea would
I like
be
that a little better.
Because they're generating like enough heat and whatnot. They can not only just be used as weapons, but they could actually also be used. Hey, this is attacking. It kind of interesting that the Superb Jegan is we deploy this on a base to shoot at spaceships, and then the Angriff Doga is we deploy this from a ship to destroy bases. I like the moving the shoulder though. It's doing like, a lot of Zaku style things with having the shoulder shield moved over onto the arm, adding the spikes so it's like a punch shield. Just little things.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a neat little variation of the Gyaradoga though. Yeah, very simple, but it's neat. I like it.
So you think like next week or 2 weeks for this to be added to GBO2 like every other engaged design?
Oh, I thought you meant to continue cleanup. was gonna say we'll continue cleanup in 2 weeks because we can roll a request next week. I'll say, but yeah. All right.
Talk about the Gelgoog L.
Oh, Gelgoog,
Hold that
the
L.
Gelgoog with a lance.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, that would be fine.
All right. Well,
all right.
I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah.
Dylan, it's the promo section. Why don't you tell people things?
Well, usually I tell you. You've done this in reverse order. I usually say 6. Where can people find you online?
Right, but I beat you to it, so it's your turn.
All right, fine. I'm at Low Poly Robot on Blue Sky, and I mostly post games and robot stuff. Most recently, I was posting my old Xenogears random stuff, and then I played through Mega Man 03. I had posted some of my 0, 1, and 2 stuff, and then I was like, wait, I never did a playthrough of 3 and 4 with, like, my current setup. What the fuck? And so I played through all of Mega Man 03 last night. And yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Oh, and then I also played through another Centuries Episode 3 as well, which I got to discuss how I love that the scale is reflected in-game, because here's 2 different screenshots of fighting the Daughters with 2 very different machines. the Bilbine, quite small compared to the Daughters. The Shin-Getter, quite large. And I just... Again, I think I've mentioned it before, but having a mecha action game that's a crossover, being able to keep the scale is such a cool thing that you don't really get in, like, Super Robot Wars. Like, Super Robot Wars has size as a category in game, but you can't really reflect that with sprites, because it would suck if you had to make really tiny scope dog sprites and then, like, a really blown up, mobile suit it's fighting or something. It would just look weird to scale the sprites that way. But in an action game, you can do that, and I love it. So yeah. 6,
nice.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on bluesky6.scanlinemedia.com. You can find Scanline Media work at scanlinemedia.com or patreon.com/scanlinemedia, and you can talk to us on the Scanline Media Discord. Also, if you want to make any requests, link down in the show notes. As far as old games I've been playing recently, we have a Novel Not New coming up. Probably it'll be started December just because of various scheduling things. But I'm playing Deus Ex 1, and that game is so fucking cool.
It's really cool. It's ridiculous, but it's really cool. How far in are you?
I'm not far.
Okay, never mind then. Yeah, we'll talk. I will have more to say about it later. Then I don't want to,
I think right now, like, I'm still struggling with the fact that, like, if you're trying to be non-lethal, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Because, like, oh, you've got a taser. Oh, it doesn't knock people out half the time. Well, shit.
Yeah, it's not... Well, yeah. Have you played Human Revolution?
Yes.
Yeah. Human Revolution, the taser's actually fucking overpowered is the thing. the taser that you just zap them and they instantly are knocked out, and I'm just like, oh, this is actually easier than being lethal. It's so funny. Because you get more XP for being non-lethal in Human Revolution, but in my opinion, at least, it's actually really easy to be non-lethal. Not quite as much in original Deus Ex. Do you want to go...
I want to... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you want to go in loud or do you want to go in quiet? Do you want to go in lethal or non-lethal? Just thinking about the beginning of the game when you're talking to, is it Paul that... No, it's not Paul that gives you the weapon. It's... Don't you just talk to him?
It is Paul.
Oh, it is Paul? Okay, he is the
Paul.
one that asked that. Okay. I should replay I should replay the game as well. It's fun.
Well, maybe we'll talk a little more off the air about Deus Ex, but, closing quote, you never know when you might run into some heavy armor. I'll take the Gep gun.
Take the Gep gun. Oh. Peace.